to the Knit Love podcast. Today is Friday, March 21st, and this is episode number 5. I am your hostess, Stephanie, and you can find me as Knit Love Steph on Instagram, Ravelry, Twitter, Tumblr, and I think that's pretty much it. I had a complete train of thought going, and I lost it. I'm trying something new this week by doing what everybody else does and knitting on the show. Um, I'm going to jump into the administrati. I have show notes sitting here. Let me just start. Um, I am highly scatterbrained. I was going to not do a podcast this week, but decided that I really should, just to keep constancy. Um, if you're not on my Instagram or in the group on Ravelry, Wednesday was my birthday. So first, I want to thank everybody for the birthday wishes. It was a very good day. Um, I turned 24. Tuesday at work, my left leg started to go numb. It's still numb. I can't feel it. It works just fine. I just can't feel it. Um, well, I and I talked to my mom about it, and she said it was probably a pinched sciatic nerve, which I'm prone to having sciatic problems and lower back pain and everything, so it didn't really surprise me any. Um, but on my birthday, the left side of my face, all along here, um, the left side of my neck, my left arm, all up in here, went completely numb. I could not feel it. Um, I talked to my mom about it because it made me a little nervous. And she was like, well, just be careful, get some rest, and we'll take it from there. So I got some rest, and the issue seemed to go away. Thursday, I had a young friend from our previous church come over to do some baking, which was a lot of fun. Um, but because she's a minor, I won't say a whole lot more. On the way to take her home, the numbness started to come back. And at first I was a little worried, but I knew that I had to get her home in one piece and unscathed. So that's what I focused on. On the way home, it, like, everything just really kind of went numb on the left side. And then it got to where, like, I wear glasses normally. So without glasses, my vision's a little blurry. But with glasses, my vision shouldn't be blurry at all. My right eye was fine, but then my left eye, everything went really blurry. And then out of my left eye, I was seeing things that weren't there. Like, it was dark, so I'm like seeing things jump in the road, but only out of one eye, which was completely throwing me off. I don't even know how I made it home in one piece. Um, and then I started to get this headache, really bad, just behind the one eye. So I got home and everything, and I was really dizzy. Like, I couldn't see straight. And I talked to my husband about it, and I said, I don't know what's going on. This is really weird. I'd never had symptoms like this before, ever. I just turned 24. Um, he told me to call my mom and talk to her about it, and her recommendation was that I go to the hospital. She said it sounded like stroke symptoms, which was weird because I'm so young. So she just told me to go ahead and go to the hospital, um, which I did. It was about 10 o'clock last night when we went to the hospital. They did a CT scan, did some blood work, did a couple chest x-rays, said that everything looked pretty good. They couldn't find anything at that point in time. Anything major, I should say, because at night they can only do certain things in the hospital. Whereas the stuff that they really wanted to do, they couldn't do because it has to be done during the day and by appointment only. So the doctor comes in about 1 o'clock and says, well, we can't really find a whole lot major on your scans, but you had I can't remember what the first letter means, but it's a something ischemic attack. It's a TIA is what it is, um, which is the same thing. He said it's a mini stroke, which means that I had this little itty bitty tiny clot um, reach my brain and temporarily block blood flow. So he said what had happened is I had this clot that made it to my brain and passed quickly enough. Like it did just enough damage to make everything numb and give me this pulsating migraine um, before it passed. Which is why and the size of the clot he said that would have done it wouldn't have been big enough to have been visible on the CT scan anyway. Um, and so since then, I've just had this pulsating headache, which the doctor said would be normal for a few days. If it lasts too much longer, I should really get it checked out again. But I have a doctor's appointment with my normal physician in a couple of days anyway. Um, so because of all that and the headache and everything, I really just wasn't going to record. But I just, I needed something for me. I don't want something like, having a stroke at 24 control my life. Um, it didn't do any damage, and well, any lasting damage that we know of, but I didn't do it yesterday, and I decided to do the podcast today. Um, I've got the giveaway to announce, and so that's pretty much mostly why I decided to record, because I figured it wouldn't be fair to keep everybody on their toes and everything like that. Granted, I know all of you would have been extremely supportive and understanding of the decision to just delay a bit, but I just can't keep delaying things anymore because of health. It's just not fair to me. It's not fair to everybody else. I'm just not going to let it ruin my life anymore. So um, that's why I'm recording tonight. So yeah, I just want to say thank you to everybody for your unbelievable amounts of love and support and encouragement, especially through Instagram. It's phenomenal. Whoever said internet friends aren't real is full of it, and I'm serious because I've never met any of my Instagram friends, and um, it's just fantastic how many of you guys can come to my support and assist me, even if it's just verbally. Well, I guess non-verbally because it's through Instagram. But y'all are fantastic. You are the best support group I've ever had, and I just want to say thank you to everybody for that. Um, Even in Ravelry, y'all are amazing, especially for the birthday wishes. Um, I've been on Ravelry since 2008, and I know on people's birthdays a little birthday cake pops up next to their name, and no one's ever wished me a happy birthday in any of the groups I've ever been in since then. And y'all are fantastic. I'm just over the moon. Like, y'all are amazing, and I love it. Well, now that all that's taken care of, um, should I jump into the knitting or should I go ahead and do the giveaway? I think y'all have waited long enough, so I'm going to do the giveaway. I'm going to see if I can figure out. I may have to pause. Oh no, I think I can do this. I don't quite know with the computer that I'm using if I can switch back and forth. I should be able to. But I have all the numbers, like I have numbers written down and everything on what what numbers to draw from. So I will do that first. I did download, I have my phone because I'm going to be using my random number generator from my phone, which is the Samsung Galaxy S4. I was very blessed when we finally decided to switch phones. If I can just find it. Okay. I don't know if it's too bright or not. Come on, focus. Yep, see, there's the random number generator. Click here to view and change parameters. So I'm going to click there. Oh, okay, let's see. Maybe I need to. Okay, here we go. Minimum number. I was the first post, so I'm going to start with the minimum number being 2. And the maximum number, I was also the last post. Um, so there was 17 total in the group. The first and the very last are both me. Um, there is an additional post that will be included in this just because the person contacted me and said that due to their technical capabilities, they weren't able to post pictures into the group. So I said that that was fine, and their picture is listed in the on Instagram with the hashtag for all the groups and everything. So it's it is there for the group. It just isn't in the group on Ravelry. Um, I totally understand about technical difficulties and things like that. I'm queen of technical difficulties. Um, if anybody has an issue with that, feel free to contact me. We can talk about it. Um, but I'm not going to let something as simple as a technical difficulty about posting a picture in the Ravelry group because I know that there are certain restrictions about that. Like with my phone, I cannot post pictures onto the Ravelry group unless I'm doing all kinds of, like, I've got to go all the way around the circles in order to do it. Like I have to email myself pictures onto my phone. It's ridiculous. And I know it can be a nightmare. So if that ever becomes an issue where if we're doing a cow and you got to post pictures and you can't, send me a message and I will gladly work around that with you. I will definitely make sure to write things down because I'm not going to let something as simple as a technical difficulty get in the way of everybody being able to have fun and participate. So the maximum number, because I am number 17, so and number 1, so that would be 15. Actually, I think I'm number 16. Let me take a quick peek and see if I can do this. Well, apparently it wouldn't let me switch between the main screen and my camera. So what you missed, apparently it's not going to let me go back and forth, so I'm not going to be able to see, so I'm not going to be able to redo it. I put the maximum number as 16 and I did the drawings, and the winner, come on, work with me. There we go, number 11. Number 11 was Lola Rent. Let me write that down real quick. And she knit the fairy crown, which was eligible for the second entry because of the Irish lore. The Celts are very known for all of their mythology and everything with the fairies and the will-o'-the-wisp and everything like that. If you've ever seen the movie Brave, you'd understand. So if you watch, message me your address and everything, and I will send out your lovely prize of your new project bag. It's 9 by 9 by 9 and it is 9 inches tall. Just for clarification, it is not interfaced, and that is for a reason which I explained in the last project or the last podcast episode. It has a little tag that I've made. I love these things. I know that's like shameless self-promotion, but I don't care. I felt so proud of myself. And there is info on the back of the tag for you, just so that you know. But yeah, send me a message with your address, and I will get that out to you as soon as possible. I'm sticking to things. And that leads me. So congratulations. Yay! Everybody did fantastic work. I did finish my socks and I posted a picture. I would show them to you right now, but the day after I finished them, I was so excited about them and it was really cold outside, so I wore them to work. And I realized that I've been knitting my socks just a tiny bit too small, because they get all stretched out. Um, so like right now they're dirty and they are stretched and they need to be washed. So I guess you don't get to see them today. And this isn't anything bad. This is just some Hawaiian punch. Doc told me I needed to stay hydrated. And I love it. I got this mug at Meijer. It was on sale for $7. It's huge. I It doesn't say how big it is, but like it's got these flowers and everything. And I don't think you can see it very well because it's like the words are like a pink and the drink is orange. But it says faith, hope, and love on it. And it's supposed to be oh oh losing my computer there, y'all. But it's completely plastic and it's double lined and everything so it stays cold. Um so the last thing for Administrati, I have decided that I'm going to do another giveaway. Um I I've mentioned before in one of the episodes that with my new job that I have, my husband agreed that I could get a new spinning wheel. Um, and I looked around and everything and I decided on which wheel I wanted. And I decided that um, I was going to go with a Kromsky. I was thinking about a Kromsky Kiwi. No, I'm sorry. I was thinking about an Ashford Kiwi or an Ashford Traveler. Um, but a friend of mine, for reasons that I will not mention, um, told me some things about Ashford that really kind of, I just decided that probably wouldn't be a good idea for me because of how I plan on using my wheel. So then I looked at all of the wheels. I looked at extensively into every single type of wheel that's out there. Um, and I decided that I'm going to go with, excuse me, the Kromsky Sonata is what I'm going to go with. I was going to go with either the Kromsky Minstrel or the Sonata. I wanted a standing wheel um, that sets right in front of me that was double treadle. The wheel that I have is more of a traditional style wheel. It's a vintage Hallcraft 1974, um, and it's a single treadle, and the orifice is off to the side. So my legs going in one direction, my hands are going in another direction. Um, which is it's a nice wheel. It does the work that I want it to do, but I have I have arthritis really bad in my knees, and the issue is it's like the wheel likes to slide because of the pressure from having the one foot treadling, and so like I've been having more issues with the arthritis because my right knee will be bad from trying to not slide the wheel away from me, and then my left knee will have a lot of pressure from trying to stabilize myself because I'm having to lean to one side so I'm not putting too much pressure on my right leg when I'm traveling. Um, and I don't like being twisted when I'm drawing the fiber as I'm spinning it, um, which is why I chose either the minstrel or the sonata. Um, I also had to look at the fact that um, I have limited space for the stuff that I have, um, and so I needed something a little compact. And the wheel that I want to get, I needed it to be able to be portable enough so I could take it to my spinning guild meetings and to the yarn shop that I go and um, basically do instructionals at and everything like that. So I wanted something that was portable and I could fold up just like the Ashford Kiwi and the Traveler and everything. And the only one between the Minstrel and the Sonata that would do that was the Sonata. And so I've decided that I'm going to go and I'm going to save for the Kromsky Sonata, and I think I want to get it in the mahogany finish. Um, I like the walnut, but I like the cherry undertone that the mahogany has. And it's going to be double treadle, so I'm very much looking forward to that. I've already saved a nice little chunk of that money, so I shouldn't have to save for too much longer in order to get it. And I'm hoping to get it here in like a month and a half. I should come close to have enough money for that saved up. Um, so I'm pretty excited. But that leads me to the giveaway prompt. Um, go into the podcast or go into the Ravelry group, and under the show notes for this week's episode, um, comment. Actually, I'll make a separate thread for the giveaway. Um, comment what your favorite wheel is and why it's your favorite wheel. Or if you don't have a wheel and you don't spin, um, say what your favorite. If you were to learn to spin, what kind of wheel you'd like to have. Or if you don't want to spin on a wheel, if there's a spindle, particular spindle that you like, um, that kind of thing. And I want to say that next week is the last week of March. So I will do the giveaway the first week of April when I do the kickoff. Let me think. Tomorrow, Friday or Monday is the 20, today's the 22nd, 23, 24, 25. So the next week, I'll do it the first podcast in April. So which would be episode number 7. I'll do it in episode number 7 for the kickoff for the um, April cow. And I actually have a prize, and I have the prize all set. The winner of the giveaway will receive a set of 5 mini skeins that I've selected from my stash. These are all some of my favorite yarns. Mini skeins are great for like the beekeeper's quilt, all kinds of different things. Each of these skeins, there's 5 of them here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and each of them is 25 yards. So there's a total of 125 yards here. So they can even be combined for, cuffs or a headband or something like that. Let me look at them so I can get the idea. These first 4 are all from Knit Stroll hand painted. This is in the watermelon colorway. Let me set the rest of these down so you can see them. This is the watermelon colorway. This is in the Make Believe, which I used for my cow socks. Let me see if I hold it back here. Yeah, you can kind of see it a little better. This one is leg warmer. It is like a light blue with pale pinks, and yeah, you can see it a little bit better back here. This one is crystal. It's like gray with a pale blue and red. And the last one isn't Knit Picks. This is actually Broken Pattern. It's Broken Pattern. It is an 80-10-10 MCN merino cashmere nylon in the berries colorway. It is like dark purple and blues, and it's really quite pretty. So yes, the winner will receive these beautiful 5 mini skeins, which I'm super excited to send out. I had a lot of fun making them. I'm going to send a set to my swap partner for the in the Schnibble Hive group, which is a mini skein hexapuff group that follows along with the beekeeper's quilt. I think that is all for Administrati now that I'm like 20 minutes in. Actually, no, one more thing. So I've decided that for the month of April, we're going to do another cow. If you would like to join and participate. The theme for this month's cal is going to be Sactopia, is what I'm calling it. Excuse me. It isn't exactly what it sounds like. You do not have to knit socks. I know a lot of people just can't. What the parameters for the cal for the month of April are is you have to at least knit with sock yarn. Fingering weight yarn, superfine yarn, whatever, sock yarn. For the FO thread, if you knit anything with sock yarn, you're eligible for 1 entry. If you choose to knit socks with sock yarn, that is 2 entries. So you'll be able to post once for sock yarn, and you'll be able to post a second time for socks. As a special bonus, close to Easter, I'm going to do another group I'm going to do another thread for Easter. So if you choose to, so that's a little complicated. So so then I'm going to do it this way. So as an added bonus, so 1 entry for sock yarn, 2nd entry for socks, 3rd entry as an added bonus entry, because April is the month of Easter this year. If you knit something themed for Easter, whether it be with Easter type colors, like, the pale pastels or whatever, or say you choose to knit a felted Easter egg, that gets you an additional entry. So you can get 1 entry for sock yarn, a 2nd entry for socks, another entry for anything Easter themed. So say, for example, you knit a pair of socks in pastel colors, maybe like, the crystal, that's almost pastel-y. That could be considered Easter related. That would get you 3 entries. If you just knit something out of sock yarn that happens to be Easter related, that's 2 entries. You do not have to do your entries in the same order if you do not want to. Say you finish something and you can post a picture as soon as you finish it. Excuse me. You can wait a couple of entries and post another picture. That is perfectly okay. I know a lot of people prefer that because it breaks it up and gets you a better chance of winning, I guess you could say. I'll make sure to post more details about that next week. Now I guess on to my knitting. I did finish the cow socks, and as soon as I finished those, I cast on more socks. Go figure, right? These socks that I'm working on, I love the colors of these. These are my Vegas Light socks. Basically, I name my socks for whatever the name of the colorway is. So these are my Vegas Light socks. They're super bright and super fluorescent. I mean, you can see that yellow clear back here and the pink. I learned something. I taped the label around the cake so that I knew what it was. Smart thinking, y'all. This is Premier Yarns Wool Free Sock in Vegas Lights. I bought it from Hobby Lobby, and these are some of the colors in it. It is basically just fluorescence. Super bright green, bright orange. It really makes you think of the Vegas Lights. Think of all like the neon signs and everything from Vegas. The other pair of socks that I cast on these are the ones that I showed you at the beginning of the episode that I've been knitting on as we've been sitting here. This is a look at the patterning. It doesn't really look just like it's got a set pattern. This is in Red Heart, Heart and Soul, and it is in the color Green Envy. Um, it is a 75-25 superwash nylon combination. Might want to leave that one out. Give me something to work on so I don't go a little bit insane on you guys. That'd be really bad. And I'm shaking things again. I'm sorry, y'all. And the Premier Wool Free is 100% acrylic, but it is one of the softest acrylics I've ever worked with. So I'm really excited to work on these socks. I showed you all the sock yarn that I got from my husband last week as a pre-birthday gift. And so I'm going to finish up some socks and everything. I've got a lot of hose, but those can wait, I guess, because I really like this sock yarn. I want to get it knit up so I can cast on the socks out of the sock yarn that I got for my birthday from my husband. I have done some knitting, or no, I've done a lot of knitting. I did do some spinning today, but my fiber is still attached to my bobbin, and I don't quite want to take my bobbin off the wheel because I'm afraid that I'll mess things up, and I don't want to do that. So next week is spin group, or this upcoming Wednesday is spin guild, and so I'm going to be taking my wheel and everything then. So I'll do some spinning then, so I'll show you guys on Thursday or Friday of next week, whenever I record again. I did get many stash enhancements this week, and almost all of them were gifts. So I'm pretty excited. Setting that down. The first thing I got was, and okay, I've caked everything up already. I did not leave it in the hanks. Due to my limited space, it's easier for me to store everything in cake form than it is in the hanks. That's why everything is pre-caked, and I've got pictures of it in the hanks, so I'll make sure to show you guys the picture. But this is Araucania Wasco in the color 04. It's green and brown, and it's basically it's a lot of greens. It's very jungly and foresty. This is what, and that's almost actually true to color right there. It's really quite lovely. I've knit with this same exact, not this colorway, but this yarn before. And I love it. I've not knit it for socks yet. I've done a couple of shawls, but I'm really excited to see what my dogs just went in the garden. I'm excited to see how it's going to knit up into socks. One of the other skeins of yarn that my husband got me, he got me a skein or a hank of Cascade yarns, Cascade 220. This is the color Primavera. He did just get me one. I did order the second one so that I could actually make the full pair of socks. And this is what the color is. It's like a Kelly green. It's really quite pretty. It's one of my favorite shades of green. Well, I should probably give you the details for the Wasco. It is 100% extra fine merino. It is 100 grams, and there are 450 yards per skein. And it is hand wash, but it says dry cleaning is recommended. I'm not going to take it to the dry cleaner. This is, let me move the label over a little bit. It is 100% Peruvian Highland wool. This is 50 grams. It's 273 yards, and it is hand wash only, which is okay. I'm going to get some soak, so hopefully, to this point I've just been using Dawn dish soap. I use Dawn dish soap to, just a second. Sorry about that. My husband was calling me. He's at work right now. He works third shift. So yeah, that was the Cascade. I got two other balls of yarn from him for my birthday, and I was really excited about it. He got me two balls of the Claudia Claudia hand painted yarns in the Hawaii colorway. You can see it right there. Um, this was really this one was his most thoughtful pick. Um, he thought I would enjoy this one most because I was born in Hawaii. Um, and I love Claudia, love her yarns. And the amazing thing about it is she's a Virginia dyer, so she's from Virginia. I spent almost half of my life in Virginia when we were stationed there when my dad was in the Navy. And so the fact that, he got me this yarn and it's Hawaii themed and she's from Virginia, he really took all that into consideration when buying it for me. So I was really proud of him for that. And I love them. Um, my last two purchases were not about gifts. I have a lady in at Guild, and I haven't even caked these yet, so you guys get to see them in full form. I got two skeins of Trekking XXL, and you can kind of see that they are just a little bit different because they are two different skeins. They're 75% superwash wool, 25% nylon. They are 100 grams and 459 yards. They're made in Germany by the Zitron company. This one is colorway number 552, and this one is colorway number 551. They are very, very similar, as you can see. This one is slightly brighter. This one is a little darker. The darker one, I was told, has just slightly longer color repeats than this one. It's got all the same colors. This one is just a little bit more muted than this one, and the repeats are a little bit longer. I got those. Lady in my my knitting group, she sells at like shows and everything, and had a little bit of backstash. So I got those because my mother and I are going to go to a crop in September for scrapbooking and knitting and everything like that. And so every time I knit her a pair of socks, she saves them and wears them and shows them off at all of her crops that she goes to, because she goes to a couple a year. And this is the first one that I'm going to get to go with her for an overnight crop and everything else. And so I decided that I would get this yarn so that I could knit her and I a somewhat matching pair of socks. It's kind of a surprise. She doesn't really, I mean, she's seen the yarn. I showed her the yarn just to be like, hey mom, look, I got new yarn. And she really likes it. And so I'm really excited, when the time comes for the crop, that I'll be like, hey mom, look, we've got matching socks. I'm sure she'll be thrilled about that. So I'm looking at my notes here. I think that's it for this week. I hope you all have a great week. I will just a reminder, I will either to Lola Rent to either PM me, or if I don't hear from you in a couple of days, I'll PM you so that I can get you your prize sent out. Make sure to comment for the prize giveaway for the mini skein stash. And I will see you all next week. You guys have a great week. Happy knitting. Bye.